What's up, legend? So we're live from the Love Seat. It's one of the most comfiest spots in the place. I decided that I'm gonna do not so much music in the background, so it's clear audio. But today, it's all about how can you show yourself that you're enough, and it's in these little ways that you get to see. Um, it's not really through. It is, and it isn't in the accomplishments, right? It's removing the idea that you can do something wrong, you could do something bad, because if you know who you are, then you know you always have the best intentions. And it's also not in money, because you trade money for how you think something is going to make you feel all the time. That's why you buy the things that you do, whether it's clothes, places, things. Um, it's all based on that feeling. So in thinking about the ways for myself of how to show myself that I'm enough is just in giving myself what I want, wanting to sit in a comfortable chair rather than sitting in the computer chair when I've been sitting there for hours and it's uncomfortable. Not making myself have to um, deal with any form of discomfort, right? Not to say that it can't be handled, but it's feeling uncomfortable for a reason. So, can you show yourself that you care about yourself enough that you don't have to tolerate that and you don't have to explain it, you know, and allowing yourself to cater to you and show up for yourself even more than you would for anybody else. Again, this idea that you could say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, come off wrong, and trying to prevent all those things. It's like, did you forget who you are? Did you forget that, like, you're your ultimate best friend? Don't you know the person that you've been creating this whole time? How awesome you are, how kind you are, how loving you are. If you know that, allow yourself to remember that. Allow yourself to remember the genuine person that you're creating, and that, you know, you'll always show up to the best of your abilities because you're just doing your best all the time. You're never not doing your best. Even if it feels like, it's an off day, and you feel like, oh, I could have done better, or that was your best that day. And because of that experience, you have another now best. It's always going to be better. You're always going to do better. You don't have to question yourself. So allow yourself to experience that feeling of just like, just breathe, take off the pressure, and just love yourself exactly as you are. Like, literally exactly as you are, but to the same degree as you would if you were to accomplish all the things and have all the things. Like, that same level of love. Make that level of love unconditional, so that you don't have to worry about losing it. You don't have to worry about, like, if you do something bad, or if you, like, you know just, again, like, have a day that you feel off and you need to rest, but you don't want to because you feel like there might be a form of laziness. And it's just, allow yourself to be, and let that be enough. Because again, you know yourself better than anybody else in the world. You're not a lazy person. You don't have to worry about being lazy. You're going to feel if you've been not doing anything for too long, because even that gets uncomfortable. Why? Because you enjoy creating. Why? Because you like being active. Why? And it's like, as you start to pay attention, that the way that you feel keeps you on track with all the things that you want to accomplish. You don't have to force it. If you enjoy, like, being in shape, and that's something that you strive for, that's something that you personally want for yourself, which I believe to a degree we all do, right? Not to say that you have to be like ripped and all that, but just in shape, then there's going to be a discomfort that comes up within you when you don't go to work out after a certain amount of time, whatever that time is, right? Whether that be a day, 2 days, 3 days, there's going to be this feeling within you as to like, I feel like I want to work out. I feel like around this time, like this is kind of like my schedule. It's every like 2 days, every 3 days. Right? For me, I give myself at least a day between workouts. That's my thing. I've done every single day. I trained 7 days a week for 3 years. And then after that, I went because I did a seminar with a champion, jiu-jitsu champion. And then he got me to understand the importance of a rest day. So I went from 7 days to 6 days. And then I was still occasionally sprinkling 7 days. And I did that all the way until I retired from fighting. So I did that in preparation for fighting and then all the way until I retired. And anytime I didn't train, it felt like I was doing something bad. I was doing something wrong and I was beating up myself. And of course, beating up all myself. And then, of course, I was surrounded by people that thought the same way, which kind of reinforced that feeling of like shame and guilt. But now, shifting to like when I work out just for me because I want to. And I have certain now the aesthetics I want to go for, things that I personally want for myself. And I get to now enjoy that journey so much better. And if there's an extra day that goes by, like yesterday, for example, I wanted to go to the gym, but I focused on adding a page to my website because I'm putting something together. So that was like the trade off. And now it's like today, I really want to go to the gym. I don't have to feel bad about it. I'm not shaming myself about it, but because I know what I want for myself and I could feel like this is something that I'm wanting, I enjoy the gym so much more now. And it's not something that I have to like make sure I'm on top of. I can feel when Mike wants to go to the gym. And it's something that you get to remind yourself of. Like cater to this relationship with you. You're gonna feel what's on track for you. And as you show that the things that you care about yourself enough, right? That's the way that we get to show ourselves that we're enough. If you care about the way you feel enough to pay attention, if you care about yourself enough to listen to the things that you're saying about everything, because oftentimes when we're like dealing with something that we don't want to do, or like people that we don't want to be around, things we always say what we really feel about it. "Ah, I don't want to do this, and this person's just, even if you're entertaining a relationship, you can feel it's just not a good fit. You'll say it out of frustration. It's like, man, this person's not going to change, and da, da, da." And then what happens? Sometimes, well, I know I have like out in the past, I ignored it and I tried to push through it. Outcome ended up being the same. I just delayed it because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see myself as enough to listen to at that time. So, care about yourself enough to listen to the things that you say out loud, and care about yourself enough to, just see, okay, you're thinking certain thoughts. Why are you thinking it that way? That means like it's highlighting a certain dialogue that's taken place, right? Because if there's the sense of doubt, as with anything, then it's like, okay, like um, there's a disconnect between what you're wanting and what your attention is. So it's just caring about the way that you can show yourself that you're enough is caring about yourself, excuse me, so much that you're not willing to ignore anything that you feel, anything that you have to say, and anything that you want. Because, the interesting thing about discomfort is that as we grow up, we see people tolerating discomfort. And the way I like to describe this is like, the concept of like people putting their hands on a hot stove. And it's like, as you're growing up, you notice that like you're putting your hand on the hot stove too because everybody else is saying you have to do it. And then you're like, all right, this isn't warm. Like it's at the point where it's hot, like it's burning. I want to pull my hand off the stove, and everybody else is like, well, no, because you have to suffer, or you have to deal with the hard stuff. You have to do it, so you have to leave your hand on the stove. And you see other people like their hands are smoking, like some of them like skin's peeling off, and you just like something feels off about this. But everybody's telling me I need to do this, and it's like, well, what if you care about yourself enough that you just take your hand off the hot stove? Because in so many ways, you see the purpose of pain receptors, right? You step on something sharp. Before you even complete the step, you pull your feet off. You touch something hot. You could tell the difference between like it's warm or if it's really hot. You don't need a good reason. You don't need permission. You pull your hand away. So in all these ways, you your body instinctually cares enough about you that it pulls you away from all this pain and discomfort. But the pain and discomfort within, between the thoughts, like painful thoughts, uncomfortable thoughts, emotions, and all these things, it's like dulling. It's like we've dulled certain pain receptors that it makes sense to kind of tolerate it. But again, show yourself that you're enough, that you care about yourself enough that you don't have to tolerate that just because you love you that much right here, right now. Not when you get X amount of money, not when you get this, not when you get that. No, that you love yourself right here, right now, so much that you're not willing to tolerate any discomfort. And just see what stands out to you from there. And it's something that was the prompt for today, is reminding myself about caring myself enough that as I continue to, strive and create more, that I still care about how I feel now, that I love myself just as much having those things and getting those things now, and that I care about myself enough to pay attention to what I'm saying, how I'm feeling, and what I'm thinking. And that if something feels off, or if, again, even if I'm wanting to do something as small as like, I don't want to sit in the chair because I'm sitting in there for hours the past couple of days and like my tailbone is uncomfortable. Let me care about how I feel. I still want to do certain things and work on certain things, but let me do it from a more comfortable position. And, like even not having the music, right? Like I do care about your view, your view, your view, your your experience in viewing. I care about the viewer's experience. But this is like for me, like my form of art, right? I love drawing. I love all. This is also a form of art of mine. So when I rewatch this, I love seeing my creations and like in hearing how the sound quality is just a little off, just because the microphone is battling with the music, and it's because it's noise canceling. It's trying to drown it out, which makes the sound weird. It's not pleasing for me and what I'm creating. So I have a certain way in my imagination of how I would like to create this, how I would like the feel of this to be. And I want it to be like again, like this organic, authentic feel, kind of like we're having a conversation. Like we're chilling in my apartment now. Like I'm chilling in your place, you're chilling in my place, vice versa. We get to visit each other's places. And if there's like or like my voice sounds weird like this or whatever, then it kind of takes away from that experience. So it's just in those little ways that just in caring about how I feel also ties in with the quality that I have in mind for what I'm putting together. So it's just in little ways that, again, as you pay attention to how you feel about things, what feels right for you, what feels good, what feels open, then it's literally in perfect alignment with everything that you want. And again, even something like fitness, you don't need a scale. I mean, you could use it if you want to, if that's something that feels right for you. You don't need a scale because when you look in the mirror, you're not going to see a number. You don't care about the scale, you don't care about the number. You care about what you see. And if what you're seeing is matching what you see in your imagination, you feel good. You're like, yeah. So just follow what feels right for you. And you could feel if something, again, even in the realm of fitness, because I help a lot of people also lose weight, if it's a part of their journey, you'll feel if like what you eat resonates with what you have envisioned. You'll feel that. You don't need accountability once you heighten sensitivity. That's all the accountability you need. So yeah, show yourself how much you love you. You're gonna love every second of it. Now, the game after that, show yourself how much more you love you. How much more could you love yourself? And that's a even more enjoyable game. So, let's sort of keep this going. I'm going to do some more stuff before I go to the gym. Wishing you all an amazing day, nothing but great things, and I will catch you later.